Get Gutsy, episode number 212. Why do you care so much?
Welcome to Get Gutsy. I'm your host, Jenny Fennig, and I am so excited to be on this journey with you. A cutting-edge show blending business and spirituality, Get Gutsy serves up a potent blend of stories, lessons, and tips to help you make a massive impact in the world through your soul's work and your inspired life. No more going it alone, no more excuses. The world needs more brave women saying yes to leadership. Are you with me? Good. Let's get gutsy now.
Hey everybody, Jenny Fennig here. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to Get Gutsy. I'm recording this episode after an epic yoga class, and I'm popping in here because I want to get this thing recorded. And then my husband and I are going to go watch a movie together. We get a sitter Monday nights in our family, and often he and I go to yoga together, but tonight he took our oldest son, to baseball practice. I went to yoga. I'm going to record this for you. And then he and I are going to have a little date night. How does that sound? That's how we do it in our family. This is a lot of what I talk about with my clients too, is figuring out how to do this thing, how to design it, how to design the business, how to design personal stuff, all of it. So wanted to give you a little lay of the land as I get this show on the road for you. We have some important stuff to talk about today. This is part 2 of my series that is shaking up business as usual. Part 1 of the series is called You Don't Deserve a Platform If You Don't Do This. And yeah, it definitely shook some stuff up. And we had such powerful feedback from part 1. If you haven't checked that out yet, go tune in. What we're doing for you is creating kind of 3 different ways you can dive into my solo episodes of the show. You can either read it, you can listen on the podcast, or you can watch. We've got video for you. So you're welcome. We like to give you the ways that you might consume. We know that everyone's different. And there's some times where I'm like, it's just a video. It's just a this, it's just a that. But for my solo episodes right now, we're giving you basically 3 different options. So some of the comments that we got, they were really exciting. You know, it's exciting. I want to talk to you about kind of the intention behind that piece, because there was a method to what I was doing. But first up, I wanted to share a few of the comments that were received. And I'm going to talk to you about kind of receiving comments and why they're exciting, but you also don't want to base your entire work on the comments that you receive, because you have to know what's true in your heart of hearts. And here are a few of the comments. One was, I love this, Jenny. Thank you. We must take a stand. Our lives must become our stand. I love that particular line. Our lives must become our stand. Take that in. Another comment, powerful stuff here. You laid it out. I'm looking forward to being more of myself and not giving a crap what those around me think. Thanks for leading the way. Huge. That one was huge. Not giving a crap what those around you think. Yeah, that's freedom right there. Another comment, I don't love this title. Feeling a little turned off by it. I am certainly not inclined to find out what I don't deserve if I'm not doing what you say. That's a valid piece of feedback too. And then here's a lengthier comment, but just really beautiful in the way she laid it out. Seriously, this needs to be a rallying cry for all coaches. The power of coaching is such a beautiful thing, but it's an industry that has become really perverted. I know for myself, it has made me have a hard time even calling myself a coach, which is silly because that is what I'm doing, and finding other ways to say it just dilutes the message. I applaud you for showing up, speaking your truth, and offering an alternative to business as usual. That really speaks to my heart as one of the ideas I've been playing with for a few months as I look to broaden my services, is looking at the idea of there being another way to do business and attracting those who are on the same page. It makes me really happy to be part of your community and proud to call you one of my teachers. It's nice to be among people who get it and aren't all flash. I love the line about how people are looking for nourishment and we're offering them candy. Keep shining. Yes, that's one of my favorite lines of that piece as well. And I felt everything that I felt in that piece. I mean, anything I write that I'm going to publish, I 100% feel it. That is what it is when you're a truth teller, when you are a storyteller, when you're a writer, you feel it, or else you wouldn't put it out there. And what I want to point out from those comments is that, yes, the post resonated with many in my community, and it didn't with others. There was that comment that I shared, that particular person, and it wasn't just her. I had others who I'm in, communication with, and I'll share a story about that. The name of the post like really rattled some people, and it could have rattled others who didn't write me or share with me that it rattled them. But I chose the name of the piece on purpose. It was certainly bold and edgy, so edgy that some women in a mastermind I am with, I've known these women for some time, I really respect who they are and their opinion and their leadership. They were a bit scared for me to go public with my piece. And we had a lot of conversation around it. And once I made my case, they got it, even if they didn't 100% agree with my approach. Part one of this series, and what I'm going to share with you today is part two, and it's the final piece of this series. It was intentionally designed as a bold opinion piece. There was an intentional approach to it. It was meant to shake up business as usual. It was not a feel-good piece. It was meant to create tension. It was meant to create conversation. It was meant to make noise. And I did not need or even want everyone to agree with me. You feel me on that? Here's what you've got to know. Not everyone is going to agree with you. Not everyone can see what you can see. So stop trying to please everyone. This is what we're going to focus on in part two of this series, digging deep into what you truly care about and why. So you can put your energy there as you grow your business instead of trying to appeal to all the people and feeling like shit. This is a lesson in values and knowing why you stand for what you stand for, and knowing you're allowed to stop caring when people who aren't your ideal clients don't like what you have to say or what you're selling. Stand-up leaders are confident enough to stand apart from the crowd and take a stand for what they believe in. They're intriguing, they're provocative, they're aspirational, they're bold, consistent, engaging, courageous, transformational. Stand-up leaders are a force of nature, and this force translates into greater impact, influence, and income. You're going to hear me saying this over and over and over again. I will come at it from different angles to get your attention, to get you to open up. Some people need to hear a message for years before it really penetrates. Others, they can hear it once. You're like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to go deeper into this. Here's the deal. To step into the next level of your expansion, you must claim your vision and position that is so bold, so audacious, so confident that the sheer force of your commitment has a transformational effect on everyone you touch. Like your energy just lights up a room, whether that be an online room, through social media, through an email, through a physical room, an event you're attending, an event you're leading. I mean, anything. Like your energy speaks volumes about you. And I am here to tell you to turn up the volume on your energy. And you're going to do that by taking a bold position in the market. So today I'm going to talk to you about a few companies who are getting it right. I want to help you get the creative and courageous juices flowing. And as I share these three examples, you will quickly see my own values at play. By me sharing these, you'll either agree or you won't. But if you're so pissed off by my examples and you want to stop following me or buying from me, that is totally okay with me. And if these examples make you want to take a stand in your business, a bolder stand in your business, and you want to invest to learn from me as you go on this epic journey that will transform your life and the lives of those you're meant to serve forever, awesome. I want you to see that taking a stand magnetizes your ideal clients and repels those who aren't a fit. And this is gold. All right, first example, Patagonia. I saw Rose Marcario, the CEO of Patagonia, speak at an event last year. She is a force, and I liked her immediately. And when I saw this news that I'm about to share with you, when I saw this news a few months ago, I liked her and the company she leads even more. Here's an excerpt from an article that appeared in Fortune magazine in November 2018. The name of the article is Patagonia Donates Entire Trump Tax Cut to Environmental Groups. And this is an excerpt from the article. I'm quoting from the article. Patagonia is planning to take the $10 million it saved from what CEO Rose Marcario calls the Trump administration's irresponsible tax cuts and donate it to environmental groups. Here's a quote from Rose. Instead of putting the money back into our business, we're responding by putting $10 million back into the planet. And she posted this statement on LinkedIn. She goes on to say, our home planet needs it more than we do. Oh my gosh. Continuing with the article, the company's announcement comes amid a series of devastating reports detailing the effects on climate change and the progress of the global response to lessen its impact. Woo! Way to take a stand, Patagonia. As I share that, what comes up for you? What comes up for you? Again, you may be like, yes, or you may go, no, whatever. Just have the response that you have. What I'm pointing out here is that Patagonia took a stand, and we have a woman at the head of that company. And so the lesson here, this is the lesson I take away. You may take away something else. Here's the lesson I see. Financially empowered women are changing the world. Look at the decision Patagonia, with Rose at the helm of the ship, has made. This decision will have positive ripple effects on the planet. We need more leaders like Rose and more companies like Patagonia. Next example, Dick's Sporting Goods. Let me be honest with you. I do not like guns. I believe we have a huge gun problem in America and lots of other problems, including the gun lobby being in bed with a lot of our politicians. And unfortunately, as we've seen time and time again in the United States of America, it's only a matter of time before some other disillusioned person with easy access to lots of guns carries out a mass shooting. So when our hearts broke again after the school shooting in Parkland, Florida in February 2018, I cried tears of joy when Dick's Sporting Goods took a stand and decided to remove AR-15 style and other semi-automatic rifles from the company's Field and Stream stores soon after the Parkland shooting. Both chains, that includes Field and Stream and Dick's Sporting Goods, stopped selling guns and ammunition to customers younger than 21 recently as well. The company includes 729 Dick's stores, 94 Golf Galaxy stores, and 35 Field and Stream stores. Here's a quote from Edward Stack, the CEO of Dick's Sporting Goods. People in the gun business are not terribly happy with us. They said we were toxic, which is fine with us. We're not going to change the way we're going. I gotta just say right there, yes. Thank you, Edward Stack. Like, I just want to go in front of him and say thank you. And I want to point out what are those who are opposed to what Edward Stack and Dick's Sporting Goods is taking a stand for. They're saying they're toxic. Just let that simmer for a moment. What's really toxic here? And again, you may disagree with where I'm going with this or the decision that Dick's Sporting Goods made. I want you to feel into how you're ready to take more of a stand using the companies that I am spelling out for you today, using these examples as fuel. So I am sharing an excerpt from a New York Times article. This is a recent article from March 2019 that discusses the impact of this decision on the business so far. And when I knew I was putting together this post for you, this episode for you, I knew I wanted to include Dick's Sporting Goods as one of the companies. And I was very, very grateful to find this recent article from the New York Times. I knew about Dick's decision, soon after what happened in Parkland, Florida. And then it was so gratifying to me to see this recent article looking at what has happened since. And the name of the article is Dick's Sporting Goods Shifts from Guns Even as Sales Suffer. Here is the excerpt from the article. Dick's Sporting Goods, one of the largest firearms retailers in the United States, is moving further away from selling guns, even as the shift takes a toll on its earnings. On Tuesday, Dick's said it would strip firearms and other hunting products from 125 of its stores and replace the merchandise with batting cages, ski apparel, and other sports gear. If the switch is successful, as it was at 10 stores where it was tested starting in the fall, it will be expanded, the company said. The latest move to scale back gun sales is becoming a familiar one for the company and its chief executive, Edward Stack. Last year, after 17 people were killed in a shooting in Parkland, Florida, Mr. Stack learned that the suspect, Nicholas Cruz, once bought a gun from Dick's. That firearm was not used in the attack, but Mr. Stack realized it could have been. Shaken by the link, Mr. Stack, a longtime gun owner, introduced measures that made it harder to buy firearms at Dick's stores, and he pressed Congress to adopt gun safety measures. He aligned himself with gun control activists, was shunned by gun sellers, buyers, and firearms industry employees, and became one of the most cited names in a gun debate increasingly crowded with corporate voices. And that's the end of that excerpt. The article also states that Mr. Stack, here's a quote, Mr. Stack also said he had received some threats and had increased security measures meant to protect him and the company. But he said he had no plans to curb his gun safety efforts, end quote, from that article. Oh my gosh. Can you feel the energy in my voice? I am so passionate about this issue. Here's the lesson. Don't expect everyone to agree with your position. You may even take a financial hit, as Dick's Sporting Goods did, in the short term as you recalibrate your business model. What's important here? Can you look at yourself in the mirror? And are you valuing people over profits? I just want to give a shout out to Dick's Sporting Goods again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am honored to shop in your store. I will continue to shop in your store. I love buying things at Dick's Sporting Goods, and I am so grateful for the stand that you've taken. Okay, Netflix. Third example I'm going to give you today. Going back to work after you have a baby is a big juggling act. I have 3 kids, and I didn't go back into a corporate setting after any of my kids. However, I know a lot of people do. Paid parental leave policies in the United States are pretty crappy compared to other countries. But in my research, I am happy to discover that so many tech companies, including Netflix, are doing really, really good work here. At Netflix, salaried employees, including birth and adoptive parents of any gender, can take up to a year off at full pay following the birth or adoption of their child. This is a smart move for a sector that consistently struggles to employ enough women. Would you agree? The lesson here, if you want to build an incredible company, create a culture that attracts and keeps top talent, including you, right? Your top talent, are you being good to you, right? We got to really look at that. The contributions of this talent will trickle down to your products and your profits and your people and create a better world. Okay? Just take that in. Those were 3 really, really powerful examples. And what I love about these examples is they align their money with their values. They aligned their money with their values. That is rocket fuel right there. And this is why I want you to really ask yourself the questions. This question, why do you care so much about the things that you care about? Why do you care so much about the things that you care about? You can go deep, deep, deep into this, and you need to. Then you can back that up with the design of your business and the causes and issues you support. And not only the design of your business, the design of your life, the design of your world. You're going to get out of your head and more deeply into changing the world with your work. When you are aligned with something bigger than you, it is easier to take the next step in your business. You won't hide out. You will send that email, and maybe even 2 or 3 in one day when you're on the final day of your launch for a program that you're so passionate about. You'll do that live stream on Facebook or Instagram and share a piece of your soul and a call to action that allows your audience to do deeper work with you. You'll stop making them have to figure out what it is that you do or what it is that you're selling or what it is that you're offering. Make it easy for people to understand what it is that you're doing and that what you're inviting them into do that work with you. You're going to open up to receiving more and more and more and more money and abundance. And you'll do wonderful things with this wealth. I want to give you an example here of how this worked for me recently. I led a workshop about creating, launching, and leading group programs. And while I was in the promotion for that, I was reminded of the family reunification work of a fantastic organization called Together Rising. Glennon Doyle is one of the amazing women involved in Together Rising. And I really, really am grateful for the work that she does in the world. If you don't follow her, you should read her books. She's just amazing. Okay. She's married to Abby Wambach. I just bought her new book. So anyway, they just do incredible work. And I caught a video that they put out showing a family that was reunited. And if I think back to it, I'm gonna start crying because it was just so touching, and it was heartbreaking that this ever happened to this family. And I decided that I was going to give 50% of the profits of my workshop, because it was a paid workshop, to Together Rising, to help the mission of bringing these families back together. You know, families being together is a huge value of mine. I mean, I feel like, why isn't that for everybody? But you know, that's me. And I am going to align my money with my value system. Okay. And knowing I was doing this fueled my promotional efforts. I didn't have time for my silly fears about if people were going to be pissed because I was emailing or posting about my incredible workshop, when I knew that workshop would, number one, be of huge value to the women who attended as they grow their businesses and help more people. And number two, allow me to donate money to Together Rising to reunite families. So why wouldn't I shout about this incredible workshop from the rooftop, knowing the good it would do in the world? That right there is the power of knowing why you care so much about what you care about and letting everything else fall away. All your silly fears, all your silly doubts, that inner critic inside that tells you you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, and it's never going to work out. Why are you fooling yourself? All of it. You need to know what you give a fuck about and what you're giving your fucks to. It's like Mark Manson's book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I read that book earlier this year after seeing it on the bestseller list for so long and going, what the fuck is so good about this book? And then reading it going, oh, I get it. It's such a good book. You need to read that book. And it's really about, why do you care? Why do you care? Why do you care so much? And then knowing what you care about, what you give the F about, and what you're just not going to give your energy to. So in my business and my family, we have supported the work of lots of organizations through the years. And I'm proud of that. And I want to give you some of the names of these organizations that you can go look into. You can go do your own research. Maybe you have your own organizations and causes that you're really fired up by. And often you really want to look at, again, what I'm giving you here is, why do you care so much about the things that you care about? And then you can sync up what is it you're so passionate about to organizations that are doing things, you know, on the ground, on the front lines, in ways that, you know, you're doing different things in your business, you see. And we're going to go deeper into this. You know, I'm going to be working with an amazing group of women very soon in Power Brand Camp. I'm going to tell you more about how you can get a spot. We're just about to close our doors. Before I tell you more about that, I want to tell you about these organizations. We support Kiva. Kiva is an incredible organization. They give micro loans to people and companies who really need it. They're doing incredible work. And I tend to focus my giving on female entrepreneurs in India, based on an incredible experience that I have in India 2 years ago. And so go check out Kiva. They do just fantastic work. And y'all, you can start with small amounts. You don't have to be giving, gazillions of dollars. If you have gazillions of dollars to give, great, go do that. But if you have smaller amounts, then give that too. Every bit counts. It's the energy behind it. I also support the work of the North Star. That is an incredible media company co-founded by Sean King and another man that I don't have the name of in my head right now, but they're doing incredible media work, supporting and amplifying the issues that matter to people of color. And I really respect the work of Sean King, and I'm so grateful for what he does. And I wanted to support the work of this brand new media company called the North Star. The ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, again, I believe in civil liberties. I believe in human rights, and I believe in the work that the ACLU is doing. Humans of New York, this is an organization founded by Brandon, and I'm blanking on his last name. You might know who he is. He's a photojournalist. Humans of New York also goes by Hony, Hony. They've been around for quite some time, and he profiles just everyday people. Sometimes he'll go to certain events, like he was recently profiling the athletes at the Special Olympics, which, if you follow the news here, the Special Olympics was kind of on the quote chopping block in terms of budgets covered by, our government. And Humans of New York just shows you that just the beauty and the heartbreak that exists in the world. And I purchased the book that he put together a few years back, and I recently realized that I can contribute to their Patreon, and every month just give a donation, and it helps to give to some of these amazing people that he comes into contact with that just need support. They just need help from people like us who care. And I want to give back to Humans of New York because he does just amazing work. And every time I read it, I'm just like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Together Rising, I already mentioned that organization. Again, you can give to them. They just not only do the family reunification efforts, but so many wonderful causes that they give to just people who need an extra hand. Raices, RAICES. I'll link this up. You can go to the show notes page and you can see all the links to these organizations. But that was another organization. They were doing family reunification work as well during the height of that fucking bullshit. I'm sorry, I'm going for it. The separation, the family separation crap that happened, it was just ridiculous and inhumane and not what our country is about. And so Raices was on the ground, bringing families back together. And it was something actually that my boys and we joined forces together, and we did a fundraiser last year, and we did the fundraiser on Facebook. Facebook has this option now. You can do a fundraiser. They'll handle it all the money goes to the organization that you're raising money for. So last year, my boys and I did that as part of a homeschool project, and they were so excited to see people donating. Like, oh my gosh, we set our goal of $500 and we hit that goal. And they were so happy that people would do that. So those are some of the organizations that we've given to through the years, and we actively still give to. There'll be others that will come. I also joined forces with my dad and my stepmom and my in-laws to give a college scholarship in my sister's honor at my alma mater high school in Florida. You know that my sister Julie died when she was 12 years old. And so we started a scholarship in her honor. It's called the Julie Amen Dolphins of Strength Scholarship. My dad has up the scholarship now. He reads through all the applications. He chooses the winners, and we give college scholarships to these students. And yeah, you don't have to give an entire scholarship. We give 2 scholarships. Like the last few years, the scholarships have been around $500 a piece. And these kids are thrilled. So I want to just give you that example and be real. You don't have to give, a $50,000 scholarship or a $25,000 scholarship. You can. And if you're in a position to do that and you want to do that, go do it. But it can be on a smaller scale. And simply by honoring these kids and selecting them, and trust me, when I read the stories of these kids that we've selected over the last few years, just being picked is everything. is everything. And for a lot of these kids that we're selecting in my my home state of Florida, they have, many of them, a lot of scholarships. Florida does a great job of really honoring their scholars. And what a lot of our scholarships have done is defrayed the cost of books, perhaps room and board, all of it, because these kids are really smart and they're incredible humans, and many of them have, you know, money to pay for certain things at school. And what we've done is recognize them and say, hey, we want to make it a bit easier for you. We want to be able to pay for this, this, and this, because for a lot of these students that we've picked, they've come from really, really humble beginnings. Many of them don't have, you know, supportive families. They've had health issues, the whole thing. And so when I know that I can give myself in some way, that we can give these resources, we can really invest in what we value. In my case, it's education, it's families, it's civil liberties, journalism, entrepreneurship, all of it. Speaking of journalism, I bought subscriptions to the New York Times and the Atlantic magazine. I appreciate their thoughtful and solid journalistic pieces, especially in this time where we have the leader of the United States of America basically calling any kind of media that he doesn't like fake news. And I believe in the power of journalism so much. In order to keep a free society, we have to have a free press. And if you're just trying to consume free content on the internet, you're not helping. You must invest in what you value. And if you value journalism, you need to buy subscriptions to media. You just do, period end. So your job, take a position. Stop being so freaking wishy-washy because you don't want to offend people or not appeal to everyone with your messaging and offers. Do right by your own soul. Speak your truth, even when you're afraid. If you're passionate about politics, you can and should discuss your views. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Speak up. What are you waiting for? Stop trying to be perceived as nice and instead say what needs to be said. There's a difference between being kind and being nice. And being clear is kind. So if this post spoke to you, if this podcast spoke to you, if you're feeling the call to use your platform for something greater than you and be surrounded by other women leaders who are right there with you taking a stand, you are going to want to join us in Power Brand Camp. It is exactly what you need. My intention with Power Brand Camp is to help women leaders get in alignment with the money you are ready to receive with your work and your take a stand message that fuels your creations and the causes that you deeply support. I'm also going to teach you what to do with the money that flows in, because making it's one thing and using it wisely is an entirely different ballgame. If you ignore this, you will not be in business much longer. All right. It took me quite a long time to figure that one out. And the techniques that I'm going to share with you allowed me to increase my Q1 profits from 2018 to 2019 by more than 1,000%. I know that financially empowered women will change the world. Studies show that women consistently give at a much higher rate than men to promote social change or help others who need it, even though women hold a lot less of the world's money than men do. Remember that example I gave you with Patagonia and Rose at the helm? Look at that right there. This is about taking a stand for change, not believing the lies you tell yourself about why it's safer to hide, making more money, doing powerful things with this money, and being the leader you were born to be, doing the work you can't not do every day. It has to be that exciting for you, that electrifying. And if you feel like you're almost there, but not really, I can help you. I can help you get lined up here. I can get you fired up here, but you've got to choose in. The doors close on Power Brand Camp on Friday, April 26th. I am going to help the difference makers called for something greater at this point in their career. Is that you? Now, listen, most of my programs sell for thousands and thousands of dollars, and I tend to serve a smaller group. You know, I'm cool to take kind of this boutique style energy with the programs. There's something really magical that happens there. But when I was feeling into what we were going to be doing with Power Brand Camp, I felt it being bigger. And I felt like what we're doing here is so important that I wanted to price it lower than I have for a program led by me live in a really, really long time. There was something, it was like, it was like my moment where I said, I've got to do this. It's not for those who are, going to be paying the thousands and thousands of dollars, or there's a lot of value and merit in having programs like that. And I will continue to have programs like that. But I simply wanted to remove money as the issue here and as the quote excuse, as the barrier, and get more people into Power Brand Camp, because I know the ripple effect is going to be huge. So go and check it out. It's jennyfennig.com/brand, jennyfennig.com/brand. It's going to be awesome. I know many of the women who've already signed up, and I feel the energy of those who stepped in. And I am going to be bringing you my very best and most potent energy so that you can do the thing that you came here to do. And here's a tip for you. When you go to the page, you're going to choose the VIP level if you want to come and work with me in person at my live event this May. It's called Take a Stand Live. We're gathering over the full moon here in the Berkshires of Western Massachusetts. I have a gorgeous space we're going to be meeting, and it's going to be unforgettable. As of the date of this recording, there's only 12 spots left at our event. And now you're going to need to make some changes to your schedule, and it won't feel convenient, and you're going to look for all the reasons why it's not the right time. And I'm going to tell you it's 100% worth it to be in the room with us. Whether that room be Take a Stand Live or just Power Brand Camp. Success doesn't come to those who are looking for convenient or free. What got you here won't get you to your next level. It is time to get going. It is a critical point in the history of the world, and you are the one you have been waiting for. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Again, go check out Power Brand Camp, jennyfennig.com/brand. I want you to get really clear on why you care so much about what you care about, and come and find me on social media. Tell me how this resonated with you. I love getting that energy back. I want to hear what's up, how you're shaking up business as usual, how this message is getting you to think more boldly, and how you are going to be taking a stand out there in the world. This is Jenny Fennig sending you so much love, so much courage, so much confidence, and so much magic as you take that stand and get gutsy. I will see you next time.
Welcome to Get Gutsy. I'm your host, Jenny Fennig, and I am so excited to be on this journey with you. A cutting-edge show blending business and spirituality, Get Gutsy serves up a potent blend of stories, lessons, and tips to help you make a massive impact in the world through your soul's work and your inspired life. No more going it alone, no more excuses. The world needs more brave women saying yes to leadership. Are you with me? Good. Let's get gutsy now.